Hi guys, and welcome back to I'll Read What She's Reading. I'm Mikayla.
I'm Kennedy.
And I'm Reggie.
And to start this episode, we're going to update you guys on what we're reading.
Finger guns.
Who wants to work first? I mean, work. Who wants to go first? I don't know. I said work.
Kennedy's looking at you. Both are looking at me. So
You're
I'll
going
start.
first.
Let's go, Reggie.
What am I reading? Okay, so I'm listening to Magnolia Park's Into the Dark. I think I should finish it. I really want to finish it tomorrow. We'll see how much I can listen to it in the next 24 hours. But I'm loving it. And I'm reading the second book in the War of Lost Hearts trilogy, Daughter of No Worlds. I just finished the first one, so I'm on the second one. It's taking me a minute to get through. I'm really enjoying it. It's a long book, and I just wasn't prepared to read such a long book. So it's like 650 pages, which isn't like, I mean, I've read longer books, but
That's a long book.
it's a long book. And you think that reading the second book in a like series would be easier to get into because you already are familiar with the world building and everything, but there's just a lot of new characters introduced, and there's also like this new kind of storyline I have no idea where it's going. And so I'm really enjoying it, but it's just taking me longer to get through than I thought. And for some reason, I thought I'd have more time to like sit and read, but I've actually had more time to listen to books recently, which has been, So that's what I'm reading.
Love it. All right, Kennedy,
My
update
turn?
us.
Okay. I am currently reading Red Rising by Pierce Brown, and I'm only 80-ish pages in, and I'm very obsessed. There is a certain thing that happens at the beginning of the book that immediately hooks you, and you're immediately invested. That's all I'll say. I don't really know much about it. I don't really know what's going on per se because the world building's a little confused, but I have a feeling I'm going to really, really enjoy it. And then I just started on the drive here. It's called Next of Kin by Hanna Bonam-Young. If you guys have you guys read Out on a Limb?
Mikayla has. I haven't.
It's really cute.
I really need to read it.
She popped up on my TikTok and basically was like, if you liked Out on a Limb, you'll really love this other book that I wrote, but it's a quote second book in a romance series. You guys know how they work.
Yeah.
It has Easter eggs and stuff. And so I'm currently listening to the first one in the series. I don't know how I'll feel about it. There's a certain element to it. She's basically a foster mom for her sister. Anyways, I'm only an hour in, so I can't really give too much, but Red Rising, right up my alley.
I'm really getting more antsy to read that.
I better not be
Same.
disappointed.
Well, I really want to read Daughter of No Worlds really bad and Red Rising. I just don't have them physically. And so, trying to read my physical TBR first before I start getting these new books.
But maybe our reactions to the series will either put it up higher
or lower.
or lower.
Yeah, that's true.
I forget you don't read on Kindle, because I was gonna say it's on Kindle
Yeah,
Unlimited.
they're free.
I'm not
Daughter
a
of No
Kindle
Worlds
girly.
It's okay.
I like turning pages. I don't know. I'm weird.
No, I think it's weird that I'm turning into such a Kindle girly.
I don't know. Maybe
So.
when I become a mom in the future, I'll maybe get a Kindle. But
It's seriously the best thing ever. Let me just say this. Well, everyone who's listening to this podcast is already a reader, but I'm convinced that motherhood can make you is the easiest time to become a reader, because having a newborn now, I'm like in the middle of the night, I don't get very excited to like wake up and feed my baby because it's like, oh, I'm so tired. But then I'm like, oh wait, I can read my book and it keep me awake. The last few times I've had to get up with her though, I honestly put my AirPods in though and listen to Magnolia Parks, because sometimes I can't grasp everything I need to read. But it's very, very nice, and especially having a Kindle too, because I can just like tap the page. I'm not like trying to like nurse my baby and flip pages. So Yeah.
Love it. So I am currently listening to Magnolia Park's Into the Dark.
Yep.
Right? And then I just started the second Pretties. The Pretties by Scott Westfield. And then I'm also going to be reading Manacled.
Ooh. Okay, Mikayla I had no idea what this book was about. Mikayla was telling me while you were feeding your baby. And it is on, I think I can say this. Someone read it, and it's on Spotify as like a podcast.
Ooh.
So I think I might listen to it because Mikayla told me the premise, and I'm sold. I'm eating my words of whatever podcast I said I would never read it because it sounds really interesting.
It does sound interesting. I'm a little scared of it.
Yeah, me too. But
I'm glad one of you guys you're gonna read it first.
I'm already like invested in the Harry Potter world because I just finished the 7th book this past weekend. And I watched all of the movies after I finished the book, and it was great. But Harry Potter itself is honestly very dark.
Mm-hmm.
It's very dark, and so I'm just like already in that world, and so I'm like, I might as well just read it now rather than later, because I feel like I'll just be kind of out of it and it will be hard for me to get into it. So yeah, I'm really excited. It's only accessible to me online on my phone, so that will be something where I'm like not really wanting to hold a physical book, and I'll read it on my phone with some blue light glasses.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm reading 3 books at a time: a physical one, an audio book, and one on my phone.
And I feel like we should also give the author a shout out because she's like, I don't really know how fan fiction works. I don't know if she gets paid for every person that reads it on a certain website, whatever, but she is coming out with a book. She's writing a book. So those of you who have read Manacled, think about picking up her book so she can get paid too for that.
I was gonna ask you guys, all around the same premise of fan fiction and Harry Potter and stuff, have you guys heard of Draco Malfoy and the Mortifying Ordeal of Being in Love? Fan fiction?
No, there's so many fanfics for Harry Potter.
Yeah. A girl I follow just posted that she had read it, and she gave it 5 stars. And she basically just wrote this whole thing about how she's obsessed with it. She says you can't really compare it to Manacled, but
I'm going to start with Manacled and then go from there.
Yeah.
Maybe then I'll just really deep dive into Harry Potter fan fiction. I've actually never read fan fiction before. So.
I haven't either. This will be my first time. So yeah, I'm excited for that journey.
I'm excited for that journey for you.
Thanks. It probably will take me a really long time to get through it because it has 370,000 words.
Insane.
That's bigger.
Holy cow.
It's like almost 100,000 words bigger than House of Flame and Shadow.
Mm-hmm. It's almost 1,000 pages.
I had no idea it was that long.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's why it intimidates me.
Maybe I'll just need the Cliff Notes version from you, Mikayla.
Okay. I'll keep you updated.
As someone who doesn't want to read really long books right now and is currently reading one, so.
Yeah. All right. And today's episode, we're going to be, how did we word this? If you like this, then read this.
Yeah.
We're going to be giving you some recommendations kind of based on some books that are maybe a little popular, and then giving you recommendations that are similar, or movies or TV shows that if you like it, you probably should try reading a book that gives similar vibes. So yeah, let's get into it.
Let's do it. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I'll give a recommendation for something I've talked about maybe a little bit on the podcast, not a ton. If I actually have not seen this show, but I know about it and I know of it. If you like The Handmaid's Tale, read The Grace Year by Kim Ligget, I believe. I've talked about it once, but it's a young adult horror-ish show about these girls that get sent to an island once they turn a certain age to get rid of their magic. It was really cool. So if you like The Handmaid's Tale, read The Grace Year.
Love it. Well, also Manacled. is similar to
Ooh, you're
Handmaid's
right.
Tale.
You're right.
So I don't know. I actually started watching the first episode, and then I stopped.
Was it too intense?
Yeah, I
Okay.
couldn't watch it.
Okay. I've never seen it.
I feel like watching and reading is different, but
Mhm.
that's just me.
Yeah, same.
I get that.
In the first episode, it just
Okay.
didn't pull any punches.
Okay.
So
All right.
Okay, this is one I've been saying to Kennedy and Mikayla as I've been reading Daughter of No Worlds. I mean, I'm only on the second book. There's three? Yeah. If you liked One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns, which One Dark Window is one of our book club books, and like Throne of Glass, that's how I would explain Daughter of No Worlds. By Carissa Broadbent. If you've read Serpent in the Wings of Night, it's the same author. I will read anything she writes. I feel like that's all I can really say about this book without really spoiling anything. So I know a lot of people like Throne of Glass. I wouldn't say there's just like the elements to it that give Throne of Glass vibes, and I can't really like put my finger on what it is. More the first book than the second, but yeah, One Dark Window, Throne of Glass vibes. You like those books? I think you'd really like Daughter of No Worlds.
That's some high praise.
Yeah.
Both of those were 5 stars.
Yeah.
Sorry, mine are more like TV and movie related because
No,
I
that's
feel like
great.
that's
I love
easier
that.
for me to like correlate.
Yeah.
Okay, I have talked about this book on the podcast before, but if you liked Anyone But You, the movie with Sydney Sweeney and what's his name?
I can't think of it.
That guy, you know who we're talking about. Yeah.
Oh, it's bothering me.
Anyways, if you liked that movie, read The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren.
I still need to read that. I have the physical book.
It kind of gives off same-ish vibes, kinda.
Yeah.
Mikayla's like, no.
No. Yeah. I would say like it's like forced proximity having to do with weddings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like traveling to a place.
Yeah.
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 There's vibes there.
There are vibes there.
There's vibes there.
Vibes.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm here for the vibes.
With some good banter.
We mentioned this in last week's episode, and I think we've talked about it before on the podcast, but for anyone who hasn't already heard us say this, if you're a big fan of Gossip Girl and you liked watching Gossip Girl, I think you would enjoy Magnolia Parks.
You want me to get on my soapbox about this comparison?
You can.
Do you want me to?
You can.
I feel like the only comparison really, because I think this is why a lot of people are disappointed with Magnolia Parks, is because that's such a common thing that people say about it, and that's like the only thing people say about it, is that if you like Gossip Girl, read Magnolia Parks. And I think really the only comparisons is like the fact that it's a whole bunch of rich young kids and some drama, and that's like where the comparisons end.
But that's like the
I feel
entire
like that-
book.
Yeah.
Yes, I know, but like think about Gossip Girl's more entertaining than Magnolia Parks. Like there's so much more that goes on in Gossip Girl than there does in Magnolia Parks.
I guess
I don't
there is
know.
like a certain plot point to Gossip Girl that like is way different than and not included at all in Magnolia Parks.
And there's just like so much more that goes on. Basically, Magnolia Parks is about Magnolia and BJ. Gossip Girl, you have so many more characters, so many more storylines that interweave together.
But I feel like that's also the same with
Yeah, but
Magnolia
not really.
Parks.
No.
Yeah, with like Daisy and Julian and Christian, and then the box set. It's just like they're a group of friends.
I mean, I guess, but I just don't think. I don't know. I just think that's why a lot of people get disappointed because they're. I don't know how to describe the way I'm feeling. Like
if you're going to read Magnolia Parks, I would say if you're going to read Magnolia Parks, you can expect those things that were just mentioned, but you can also expect it to be more a beautifully written, messy drama. Whereas like I don't feel like Gossip Girl is like gets you in like the like feel goods, but Magnolia Parks will.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe it's not a great comparison But I do feel like, as someone who loved watching Gossip Girl when she was in her... When did I watch Gossip Girl? When I was young. I feel like now as an adult, I enjoy... I can... How do I explain what I'm trying to say?
It's like an adult version of Gossip Girl. That's why people compare it, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, there's not the actual Gossip Girl element, but high society, Richie... What am I trying to say?
In London, drama, toxic.
Yeah. And maybe that's a bad comparison, but
It's not a bad comparison. It's just that I think a lot of people have such high expectations of Gossip Girl, and then they go to Magnolia Parks and they're disappointed because they're expecting exactly Gossip Girl. You know what I mean? It's like if you compared...
But also all of these comparisons that we're giving, I don't think they're the exact same. They're just similar vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So take with that what you will. I feel like I was trying to like think of something else to compare it to, because I just really think a lot of people are intrigued to read Magnolia Parks because they're not sure how... I've heard there's so many mixed reviews on Magnolia Parks. So I'm trying to think of like something else to compare it to, that like if you would like this, you would like Magnolia Parks. And I think what's hard is that the only thing that comes to my brain is Gossip Girl, because I can't think of anything out there that's similar.
Maybe I already talked about this. But if you like the show Queen's Gambit, it's like a Netflix original. There's a book called Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood that I actually really liked. And I think it's because I did like watch the Queen's Gambit. It's about chess in a more nerdy sense, but I just thought it was really good, especially after watching the Queen's Gambit. I knew a lot more about chess than I have ever known. I'm not like a chess player. I don't know about chess a lot, but it was just a fun, and it's also young adult, so it's not quite as adult as Queen's Gambit, but yeah, that's a fun one for me.
Is it set in like the same kind of time period or no?
No, it's like
just
set
more like the
in
same
modern
like,
time.
Yeah, okay.
It's just kind of like kind of a similar plot where she's kind of like an underdog chess player, and she starts making it big time.
I loved the Queen's Gambit.
I did too.
But
it is young adult.
Yeah.
So don't expect
Yeah.
anything like crazy, but it has similar vibes.
Cool.
Yeah. And I wonder if she was inspired by it, but
Maybe.
Yeah.
The Queen's Gambit wasn't like a book or anything, was it?
I actually think it was, but I could be wrong.
I just assume that a lot of things are like based off of books now because there's so many book adaptations out there. Maybe it was.
Yeah, it was.
Okay. Interesting.
Apparently there's like 2 other books too. It's like a trilogy. So I wonder if they're going to make like another season of Queen's Gambit, or if they're just going to call it quits. But I actually really liked it. So,
and maybe I think this is an okay comparison. If you liked Verity, read None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. That's all I'll say.
I think that's a good one.
There's a certain aspect to it that when I finished it, I was like, okay.
I actually am curious what other... I think I know what you believe, but I'll talk to you afterwards. If anyone has read it, I'm curious to know like what you believe.
We talked about it on our Verity episode, didn't we?
No, but none of this is true.
Oh. See, I haven't read it yet because I feel like I'm not going to like it.
I don't know.
I'm worried I'm not going to like None of This Is True after what I've heard you guys say about it.
I think
my sister-in-law read it. She thought it was like the best thriller she's ever read.
But I also just don't think I'm a thriller person. Like, it's not my favorite genre at all.
I think the reason I didn't like it was because I don't think this is a spoiler. There's just like no twist. It's very just surface level. There's nothing like if I'm reading a thriller, I want it to be this mind-boggling twist, and it was just very flat for me.
Like
So
our
my
book club
sister-in-law
book.
was like blown away by it.
Has she read Verity?
No.
Maybe that's
okay,
why.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
why.
And I know people compare it to another book, and she hasn't read that one yet.
Do you know what other book it is?
The Silent Patient.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Interesting. I wouldn't really
I don't
say
know.
it's similar, but I could see.
Verity is better than None of This Is True in my opinion, but
Yeah, I would say so too.
I can't believe we picked that as our first book club book.
Really just
Good times. If you like, for you romance people out there, rom-coms, The Proposal with Sandra Bullock and Ryan Reynolds. If you love that movie, you would really like The Bodyguard by Katherine Center.
Yeah.
yeah.
Kind of a similar idea of the fake dating trope. When you say it's like a fake dating trope?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Can you remember it?
I literally was reading this book and I couldn't picture anyone but Sandra Bullock and Ryan Reynolds when I was reading it, just because it felt the same. And I think that's one of the reasons I really liked the book. It's different. It's like a bodyguard situation, though. She is his bodyguard. And fake dating. So
The Proposal is so good.
I love The Proposal.
Ugh.
I cannot
Classic.
remember the plot of
The Bodyguard.
either. So I'm just
She's like
here on vibes.
famous, and she's
I remember The Bodyguard a little bit
to
more,
his ranch.
but I don't remember The Proposal. I haven't seen that in so long.
guys,
so.
we need to have like chick flick movie nights
We
because
should.
Kennedy still hasn't seen Mamma Mia, and it's killing me that she hasn't seen Mamma Mia.
Let's do a Mamma Mia
We
party.
really, that's one of my favorite movies of all time.
I love Mamma Mia. We'll dance. Well, Kennedy's just sitting on the couch. We'll perform.
I know
for
the
her.
songs. I know the songs.
Okay. I'm getting my juices flowing. Okay. One of Kennedy's favorite Abby Jimenez books, Part of Your World. I would say if you like Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez, you should read When in Rome by Sarah Adams.
I have not read When in Rome.
I don't set your expectations like super high for it, because I still think Part of Your World is better than When in Rome, but it has a similar small hometown, like,
Why did I think it took place in Rome? Or does it?
no,
Okay.
it doesn't.
Okay.
It makes more sense. Rome it's a little town. It's like a little town. You know how like there's Paris, Idaho? It's like Rome.
Okay.
So,
I get you.
yes, home, like small, what is it called?
Small
Small
town
towns.
romance.
Small town guy.
Big city girl.
Big city girl.
Okay.
Similar vibes.
I can get for that.
Yeah. I thought it was really cute. And then there is a second book.
Okay.
It's called Practice Makes Perfect. And I would say it's similar to The Bodyguard.
Mikayla's just really giving. I love it.
If you like The Summer I Turned Pretty, Every Summer After.
Okay, yeah.
It does
Sorry.
give similar vibes.
Similar vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it's like the same plot,
No.
but like think
Summer
home
On a beach.
on like at lake house, cute brothers,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
but like maybe a little more grown up version.
Yeah.
But like they grow up together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 I feel
There's
good about that.
Yeah. I like it.
Thanks.
I don't know why I'm using that as a pointer. I like it.
Okay. I've talked about this book 500 million bajillion times on this podcast, so I'm sorry you're hearing it again. But if I haven't convinced you to read this book, now's the time. If you liked Severance on Apple TV, read Dark Matter. And I know neither of you have seen Severance, have you?
No.
No, I remember you telling me about it.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with that. We're
I
going to
like
leave
it.
it at that.
I like it.
And just so you guys know, Dark Matter comes out on like May 6th on Apple
can't wait to
TV.
read
Let's
it.
do a watch party. What are we doing?
Please, I'm actually so excited.
I'm excited too. I'm just excited to see if what I envisioned is anything like it's going to be like it was produced, like, because I have a very vivid imagination when it comes to that book, but I'm a little nervous they had a different vision than I did, you know?
I have a feeling it's going to be like nothing like what I thought it in my head.
But
that's
it's
okay.
next on my TBR, so
Watch party. Let's all do a watch party, you guys. Okay. I think that's all right. I think we'll continue to make notes, and we'll probably do a part 2 in the next few months for you guys. And hopefully we'll have a few more books under our belt. Is that what the saying is? Yeah. Under our belt. You can follow us on TikTok or Instagram at What She's Reading Pod, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.